Yesterday we learned about box and whisker plots. Another way to represent our data is through pie charts. Pie charts represent ratios and make it easy to compare them to one another. I'm sure many of you have seen pie charts or maybe circle graphs. You might have heard them talked about that way in newspapers or articles. It's a pretty common way. So to create a pie chart, we first need to organize our data from least to greatest. So right here are the responses that John collected from his classmates. So the first step is going to be to put them in order. I will have 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, 3, 3, and 4. It's important to make sure that you didn't miss one while you're going through. Just make sure I have 8 over here and 8 originally. The next step is to find the ratios of each response to the total number of responses. So when I look at the ratio for 0 pets, the first number is going to be how many people responded that they have 0 pets. If I look up here, I have 1 and 2. So my ratio will be 2 to the total 8 because I asked a total of 8 people. When I write the ratio for 1 pet, we had 1 person respond that they had 1 to 8 total. 2 pets, we had 1 person that had 2 pets in our class and 8 total responses. 3 pets, we had 3 people that had 3 pets at home to the total of 8 responses again. And 4, we had 1 person that had 4 pets out of my total of 8. To make sure that I have made my ratios correctly, if I add up the first number of each of them, it should add up to 8, which was my total. So I'll have 1 plus 2 plus 1 plus 3 plus 1, which will give me a total of 8, which means my ratios are correct. Now that we have determined our ratios, we can start to draw our pie charts. The first step is to divide the circle into 8 because we had 8 total responses. Congruent slices. Because we aren't using tools, our slices might not be exactly congruent, but you should make it as close to as possible. All of the lines should intersect in the middle. So because I have 8, right now I have 4 equal slices, and if I divide those both in half, I have 8. So we have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now I can use this circle to make my pie chart. I'm going to start by shading in the correct ratio for people who responded that they have 0 pets. So when I look above, I can see that my ratio was 2 to 8. So shading in 2 slices, I now have 2 of 8 total pieces. So this portion represents 0 pets. Next are people who had 1 pet. That ratio is 1 to 8. So I will shade in 1 slice out of my 8 total. Don't forget to label so that people looking at your graph know what each part represents. So you're going to keep doing this for each ratio that you have above. Next we have 2 pets, which was 1 to 8. Next, we have 3 pets 3 to 8, so I'll count out 1, 2, 3 slices. These will all get shaded in. When you're making yours, you can make it a lot neater than this. This is just trying to show you how we're going to fill that in and show it. And last but not least, we have how many people had 4 pets, which is 1 out of 8. So again, it's really important that you have 8 congruent slices so that they represent the correct ratio, and you're going to shade in the corresponding number of parts to your ratio. Now I want you to compare your pie chart you created today and your box and whisker plots from yesterday. Do you find one of them easier to understand than the other or interpret? Each one best represents a different measure of center. Which one do you think each represents? Your final task is going to be creating a pie chart for each of your population samples. That means each of you will be creating 2 pie charts on your own. Good luck!